up, everybody? Welcome to the IAG Thursday thing. This thing we do every Thursday, except when it's Wednesday and we're having woos. Uh, Warranty just got here. He thinks that's the majority of the woos, but it was actually my damn podcast deck driving me up the wall for no apparent reason. I blame the chat. You so when when I have to upload uh sound files into our Google Drive, I have to leave the computer open because if I close the laptop, it closes down. And I'm sure there's a setting I can do
Yeah.
to fix that and whatever, but like as it sits, that's what it does. And the cat likes to lay on my keyboard. Um,
Oh,
so it's on you guys. Every time this cat does something awful, like sits on my lap, then chills and then sneezes on me. Or whatever.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's the chat. The chat did this to me. So
Yeah, the cat software muted his mic.
yeah.
oh no.
Yeah. And we couldn't
yeah.
find
Oh,
it to
gosh.
save our life. So
Oh man. Okay,
is
it's
what
one of
it
those
is.
days. Well,
yeah.
it's
what
the
are you
day
gonna
before
do?
Christmas.
Yeah.
So yeah, things will happen. We're on our
Sounds like someone got hit
we-
by an icicle by Warranty's place.
Yeah, well, it happens. Icicle
an
deaths.
icicle. An icicle.
Yeah. There's the running joke from PRI with Jeremy because he's never
Icicle deaths. It's
the
actually
icicle
like,
deaths.
dude, it's
Yeah.
like 75 degrees here right now. Either way, let me finish the
Nice.
opening.
Okay.
We're joined, as usual, which is awesome. It was actually his idea to do this today, so y'all can thank him. By my longtime partner in crime, Warranty. Warranty, how you doing, sir?
Dewey, I'm doing great. I wanted to take the first opportunity to tell the audience that I'm sorry, but I had the adjustment understanding of the coilovers completely backwards. Turns out when you make the number go down, the rebound is slower, not faster. So whatever previous episode I talked about coilovers, that was wrong. But good news is that at the end of the day, you're judging by feel. And I turned the number up, it felt better. But yeah, that's what I wanted to say.
I think what ended up happening is it just matched the spring better. But, you know, I'm
yeah.
going to smile and nod. We're also joined by executive producer Cripple Jordan.
I am now Cripple J.
Hey man, you did a great job at PRI. I was shocked.
I don't know how you made it
So-
around there, dude. But you did.
I am in shambles this past week. I don't know what I did. I either slept wrong, twisted wrong, but it's worse than it's been in probably 2 months.
So
Don't know what I
I'm
did.
sorry.
But
That's
rather than
rough.
that, doing good. Just been hitting iRacing all day today, being off, not doing work or anything like that.
As you would on a day off.
Yeah.
The day
You've
before
been,
Christmas.
I know.
you made some big gains. So we got a
Massive
Monday.
gains.
We got a Monday league going that is really set up for beginners in iRacing. So if anybody does want to join and you want to get in on this, maybe hit us up and we'll figure out a way to I don't know, maybe we'll post something up somewhere. Either way, we'll have the link to get into that Discord. And we run on Monday nights. But
Yeah, it's literally practice. It's literally focused on, noobs kind of like me.
Yep.
So,
but
I hope it's
you
called Bowling League.
you
Monday
kept-
Night Bowling League.
you kept going with it because we ended up running a couple of races and you kept going with the GT4 and you went and you
it was
posted
a good
some
base.
videos and stuff like that, and the rest of us were kind of just coaching the living shit out of you, which you got really lucky because you got myself, which I'm okay, but Jamie Santos is really solid. But then you also start getting Alan Patton and and Luke McGrew was popping in, and so he
Nice.
got these incredible badasses helping him, find time and just giving him advice and whatever. And it sounds like he implemented it pretty well and picked up some pretty serious time.
Between Monday night and today, I picked up a three whole seconds.
That's
Oh, wow.
seconds.
That is a
Look at
long
you.
time for a
That's a long time.
competent lap. I bet you on Monday you felt like you laid a decent lap down, and now you're like, that was trash.
So the fastest lap, and it was a one-off because I'm pretty consistent, but I had a one-off. I got like a 128 in the GT4 and Road Atlanta. It was a one-off, and I couldn't get near that again. And then today I did a 126.
That's
126.4.
scooting, man.
Good. It's a lot, especially with a fast car. Like it's hard to drive those things. So good for you.
So the GT4 like is as much as we're trying to use 86s for practice, the GT4 is actually another good like practice car because it at least in iRacing because it's not like a proper race car. It's still like it punishes you if you don't do something right.
Yes.
Okay.
No,
Good.
it's really good. The
So-
cars slide around a lot too, which I guess
Yeah.
isn't exactly realistic. We're lucky enough to have Alan Patton in there who drives GT4s. And Alan's
God.
like, it ain't right. Like the dynamics are right, but they don't have the right amount of grip and the tires aren't exactly there. But like you get the basic gist of what you're supposed to be doing. He's like, it's close, but not. They just redid the tire model for him. Personally, I think they're a really good time to drive, but other people are like, it's like a drift car. And like, I don't know. But
Yeah.
I think you learn a lot.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, whatever pointers you guys gave, I really took them into consideration. And we track our data too, by the way. Like if like it's kind of like Fire Laps, but for iRacing minus the AI coach. I looked at all that data and kind of just played
Mhm.
around with it all day today.
It's killing.
I liked driving the 86 Cup car. That was a good enough approximation of my street car,
It's
on
better
a
now.
racetrack. Oh,
Yeah, they made
good.
it. They made it feel faster.
They made a
Like,
Cool.
huge update. It used to feel kind of like Jeremy Bailey's car after he gutted it, but before he did the diff and everything else. Which
Okay.
okay,
Yeah.
that's kind of what it felt like. And then Jeremy Bailey did a diff and got his suspension set up right, and the tires got a little better, and like
Yep.
it was actually closer to what the Cup car would feel like. And
Mhm.
you could really start to see where it was off. But the Cup car, there was always been this like weird. The Cup car was never quite right, and it was like the center of gravity was actually set too high in the car. They made a bunch of
Oh.
changes. They tightened the rear diff. Um, a bunch of small stuff, and it made a massive difference to the car. Most tracks are like 2 seconds faster with it now, and
Nice.
it's
yeah, it's kind of crazy.
way better. I kind of like the old one, even though it wasn't correct because it was a little you could get the weight to move around more because the center of gravity was higher, and if you learn to use that as to your advantage, because everybody was dealing with the same problem, but if you got good with it, you could get the car to rotate really well. This doesn't do that as bad, but it also doesn't do this weird thing where it wildly over rotate and then traction control would come in and like stop you in the middle of the corner. That was the worst. So I don't know.
Yeah,
That's
that's
fun.
pretty raw.
So
So-
Randy made our thumbnail as usual. Randy did make a request though, and this was a guy he was pretty close to, and I want to make sure we shout him out because the situation was pretty awful. But longtime rs25.com like GC guy, I'm hoping I'm pronouncing his name right. His name was Joe Sanguinetti. Unfortunately passed recently. He was really big within the community. And they have a GoFundMe going. It was not exactly expected. The whole situation is just rough. So this is one of those times when if the community could take care of the community, if you could throw $5-10 at this, it'd really be Subaru people taking care of Subaru people, and we'll make sure we throw the looks like Jordan already threw the link in there,
Yep.
but we'll make sure the link is in the comments or in the description of the podcast, and we'll make sure to post it up. But his family would really appreciate it, and there's enough of us listening to this. If you were to throw $5 or $10 at that would be huge. That'd be a huge lift off that family, and especially this time of year, we're going into Christmas, and do what you can to help out. So
the community that we have now is built on those old forum guys from like the RS25 era, and there's a couple other forums like that, but we don't realize how far we've come because we're standing on the shoulders of giants. So
well, then you got
I don't know this
like
guy.
Serapin Wolf is even in here, and Serapin Wolf is OG, just like flat out OG, and he's even in here.
Damn.
He's like, when people talk about real ones, he was the definition. So
Yep. I don't know him, but I've met a lot of people over the years, and I believe it. Somebody says it, and I trust that person. I believe it.
we honestly, we don't realize that how much a lot of those OGs paved the way for you know, the community we have today, or the community we even had 10 years ago. Like, it was all built on a foundation past that. So
Yeah.
I think if at any point you have, you know, taken knowledge of something from RS-25 or Nasiak or some OG or whatever, you know, do the good Boy Scout duty of the day and throw $5-10 at that. So
Yeah, agree.
so today's supposed to be an Ask Dewey, because honestly we didn't have a topic, but if you guys haven't noticed, I'm kind of on this Bugeye kick lately. I am broken. I have fallen in love with my original love again. This is not good.
He won't shut up about it.
Dude, I won't
man.
shut up about it. I am talking to everybody about it. I haven't been this excited about a car and I don't know how long. So, long story short, I don't know how much I've talked about it on the podcast yet. I think I've talked around it or hinted towards it, but I am purchasing a Bug Eye. It's a World Rally Blue 02 WRX, but the entirety, wiring harness, everything has been swapped out with an 04 STI. So it's basically an 04 STI that looks like a Bug Eye, which to me is perfect. It's exactly what I'm looking for, because then I get 32-bit ECU stuff that I want to play with, but I get the car looks the way I want it to. I think the only downside to it, it's 5x100 knuckles, because it's 04 STI. But I'm so, dude, I'm staying up late at night looking at parts on eBay.
He can't sleep because of this car.
Dude, I have lost lots of sleep over this car, digging around on eBay looking for shit.
Dude, it's gonna be a fun trip going to get it.
I hope other people, you know, when I talk about this whole resto mod thing, I hope other people are doing this same thing. Like, they're you know, they decide they're gonna go buy the STI they always wanted, or the Bug Eye, or a GC, or whatever Subaru thing you want, or even if it's not a Subaru, I don't care, whatever. You finally get to go get your car, okay? The thing that you wanted when you couldn't afford it, but you can now, and it's the one you really wanted. You're not making concessions. You're getting the one you want and the color you want. You get to do it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And I'm enjoying this so much that I hope other people are doing the same thing. And I gotta be real, like, stuff that was really easy to find back in the day is fucking impossible to get now. I'm trying to find an OEM actual V2 lip. Impossible. Okay, it used to be you could go to eBay and look up JDM WRX scoop and you'd get 500 of them in any color you ever wanted. There is one in World Rally Blue on eBay right now, and it is $500.
Yeah, you know why? Because that car came out 20 years ago.
No, don't remind me. And there's other stuff, like I always wanted a set of UK 300 headlights. I even had a mint set of UK 300s, and then I had a Bug Eye that I was going to work on, but it was silver, and I could not bring myself to get excited about it, because I really didn't want silver in the first place when I bought my first one, but I made the concession to get that. Now, I don't regret that at all, but I always wish it was either Sedona Red Pearl, Sonic Yellow, or World Rally Blue. Those are the three colors I've always wanted, okay? And then so I bought these headlights and I thought it'd get me excited about it again, and it didn't, so I ended up selling that car. Then I bought another one. It kind of dumped in my lap. It was silver again, and I just could not get excited about it. So I sold that to a really good friend. He's hyped, and he's doing some awesome stuff with it, and I'm psyched. But finally found this one in World Rally Blue. Now I'm looking for UK 300s again. I am kicking myself for selling those things, because they were the most mint set I've ever laid eyes on. And I got them for a song. And now I'm looking at sets that really aren't that great, and I'm going to spend well over $1,000 for them. And I'm going to get them.
Sounds
You're
like
like
a build series rather than a go do things with your car
Nah,
series.
this is
no.
no. And again, like I'm not gonna go too deep into what we're trying to do with this, but long story short, the idea behind I'm allowed to enjoy my car. I'm allowed to enjoy my car, and the strife of finding things like that sure you can tweak that into a build that a bunch of that shit might not even make content. It's for me. I want to do it because
Yeah.
I want to do it. This is me, okay? But things I want to with this car make a series that is how to go do things with your car. Okay? It's not
Yep.
so much the build of the car. Now, some of that will be you should prep your car in a particular way, but prep and build are two different things. So there will be like kind of a before and after discussion of this is what we did to prep. And then after it, if I wanted to do this, I wanted to focus or zero in on this and get better at it. If I wanted to gear the vehicle directly towards this car, this event or whatever I was doing, I would do these certain things. And with recommendations. But honestly, the car is going to be pretty good at just about everything. So you're going to see a lot of beginner oriented focus on different things you can do with a car. And one of the very first ones we're going to do is ice racing. How do you find ice racing? What do you do to prep for ice racing? Where do you go? What should you wear? What's it like ice racing? A small amount of driver stuff and shenanigans and just good times. What can you expect while you're there while ice racing? Talking to people, yada, yada, yada. But just ice racing in general, like I want to do it more from a beginner viewpoint. Okay. So I want to try to make it so I can show people how to go do these things with their cars. Ice racing is a very easy thing to start with. But then I want to do it with drag racing. We've got like an 8th mile drag strip. There's 8th mile drag strips all over the country. There's an 8th mile drag strip not far from here. We're going to go do a little drag racing. I don't really know what it'll run, or do I really care if I'm even that fast? It's really more, this is how you do it. Autocross, HPDEs. I also want to do how to go watch a rally. So then you have an understanding of where you can and can't stand. Like where you get the maps that tell you where the spectator stages are. And most rallies are about the same. And what you should look for, who you got to listen, like how long you're out there, what you should bring, how you're supposed to act.
Yep.
This stuff doesn't exist. It just doesn't exist. And nobody knows how to do things with their car anymore. So, yeah, Serapin Wolf's like complete with overtake. Long story short, Art with overtake actually kind of wants to, we might do a little something with that, but that's if they want to drive all the way to Wisconsin. I'm going to Wisconsin to go ice racing. You're probably going to see special guests, and some people from Overtake probably will be on that.
It's looking like it's going to be.
I'm
good.
hyped. I'm hyped for the adventure. That's what this should be about is the adventure of doing these things. Everything out there is about a build. Now, everybody's doing builds. I'm fucking over the build. Nobody does shit with their cars, or the build does. You got 20 different episodes of a build, and then half of one episode of them actually doing something and it being like, it was okay.
Totally agree.
So yeah, that's it. Let's go do stuff. I'm excited, but yeah, I can't stop looking at Bugeye shit. And then now the algorithm has started showing me more Bugeye shit. I don't know if you saw on my Facebook wall, but I posted up this guy just took some really baller pictures of his World Rally Blue Bugeye the other day and posted them in a couple different groups, and the algorithm just exploded on me with this dude's post. So I almost use his pictures for the thumbnail today, but he didn't give me permission in time. But I just posted it on my wall because I'm so in love with the damn car. But I'm excited, man. I'm excited. I'm excited to like mess with this damn Bugeye again and go do shit like I used to with my original Bugeye. But again, the whole goal of this is to show other people how to go do shit, and I hope people join me. Like, I'm gonna actually try to try to get try to give people enough warning of where I'm gonna try to go, and if they want to join, they can. So
Yeah,
Good idea.
that'd be good. That'd be fun.
So thanks in advance to executive producer Jordan, who's making the dream work because he's going to be editing all this content.
it's his
Yeah,
fucking
I'm
idea.
going on the trip with them. Yeah, it's like
this
Like-
it was low key kind of my idea, but really he's like, nah, dude, we're doing this. Because I was gonna
No,
try to make somebody else do
yeah,
it.
Dewey was like, "Yo, this would be awesome." I'm like, "Dude, no. The way I'm picturing it is we can make something explode here." So I kind of forced his hand of like, "We're going to record not just like us getting the car or doing things with it. I'm like, this entire trip, we're going to record every fucking detail.
There's gonna be
and
shenanigans on
I'll
this
make
trip.
something. Yeah, there will be shenanigans.
We've already got kind of a
So-
path locked in on how we're getting back.
Mhm.
And there may be some special guests on the way back because we're going to be in certain people's neck of the woods. Because we have to go
Yep.
to Eugene, Oregon, which is nowhere
That,
close.
ooh, that's a hike. That's across the
It's
continent.
Yes.
So if it's going to be a long trip because if we just drove straight from Oregon back to Tennessee, that's a 30-hour drive by itself.
Boy, that's a lot of driving.
Mhm.
Yeah.
When are
It's
you picking
going
up
to
this car?
Next month,
Hopefully, I say
Okay.
hopefully next
which
month.
is why it needed tires, which is why I sent him snows. I sent
Especially
him.
if we're gonna go ice
He's
racing in it.
like, I already told him, I'm like, I'm sending you snow tires. He's like, what are snow tires? I'm like, I know we're
That's fair.
driving through the mountains. We're going to be going through Colorado. Like, it's going to be snowing. There's just no getting around. We're
Yes.
going to run into
Yeah.
at least some snow, and I'll be damned if I'm going to
Yeah.
do it on shit tires.
Yep, that
Yeah,
makes life
especially up in the
very
mountains.
difficult.
Yep. So,
So cool. All right. So that was question number one, which is what are you hyped about? You're hyped about a Bugeye.
I'm
There-
way
The
way too
Bugeye.
hyped about a Bugeye. Dude,
Dewey
I'm
needs projects like this to keep him just like firing the afterburners at full speed.
you know,
It's to keep his ADHD in check.
keep my ADHD
didn't
in
say
check, but
it.
also like this season's grid life schedule is actually chilled out a little bit. I might be
Yep.
able to do like an HPDE. I mean,
Yeah, find a couple
what
other
is
events in between.
that?
I would, man, if my schedule works out, I would love to chase down a Bugeye.
That'd
In
be
the
great.
BRZ.
We'll have a great time.
Be a great time.
Yep. So I'm just stupid excited, man. We're gonna have a really good time with this car.
Nice. So this episode was going to be Ask Dewey, but we might end up ranting. So
Yeah, whatever.
we're gonna
Yeah, we kind of
we're gonna improvise a little bit. Dewey's gone on a rant, but it was a positive one. So now I got to think of ways to get Dewey really hot and just like angry about something. So nothing comes to mind at the moment. But just
Oh,
letting you
I got
know.
a good one. Let's
Okay,
talk
go for
about
it.
how Car and Driver is all excited that the second fastest Subaru they've ever tested and the quickest Subaru they ever tested is the new Solterra.
Yeah, man, it's an SUV. It's
That's
medium sized.
So
It's an
boring.
EV.
I
It's
don't
just so boring.
care. Like, what did it run? Like a 13 flat quarter?
It I don't remember the quarter, but 0 to 100 it was 11.6 or 11.8 seconds.
Yeah. And it 0 to
So-
60 in like fours, like mid fours.
4.2.
Yeah, it was
think.
cooking. Like, and I'm not gonna
Yeah.
lie, the thing was boogieing. Now I want to throw this out here. This is Car and Driver's testing. Okay, there
Yep.
were multiple publications that ran well into the 12s with 04 STIs.
Okay.
Those are still to date because they were so much lighter than the S209. The fastest out of the box STI but you had to get it right, and it was due to the fact they were so much lighter.
Yeah.
They were cooking.
Yep.
And
Yep.
I think their 0 to 60 would have been really similar to the Solterra, but you had an extra shift in there. You couldn't make 60 mile an hour in second gear.
Yeah. Because the red line was a little too low. But
Yeah, and they had that really crazy short gearing.
Yeah. So yeah, these are things we already know, which is battery electric vehicles are very fast,
They
but
make
they're
torque.
completely soulless. They're just boring.
Yeah.
I don't care, man. I don't care. I like battery EVs, I've decided, but I care about durability and, can I camp in the thing?
Well, a
don't-
lot of
I don't
people
care
are
about it.
like, you're just anti-EV, and I'm not. Like, I think
No.
for the right person, an EV makes sense, but it that becomes an appliance to me.
Yep.
Like, that's a transportation appliance, which is cool. Nothing
Yep.
wrong with that. If you're living the Camry life downtown and this vehicle makes more sense for you, get it.
Oh, I would love this car in stop and go traffic.
Oh, it'd be
man.
great. And
It's perfect.
people buy Teslas or whatever for that reason. I get it.
Yes.
But I'm never going to be excited about it. You know what I mean? It's never like, it's like being excited about a hammer.
Reddit reminded me today that people buy their midlife crisis cars in their mid 30s sometimes.
Yeah.
And that's weird because I've
Well,
always
no, it's
driven
not.
fun cars.
But it's
Sorry,
really
I'm
not.
having,
You got
I'm having my
people-
midlife crisis in my late 20s.
Yeah,
70
well, your back is older, so that makes you older.
Yes.
So
What it usually is people don't get their shit figured out till their early to mid 30s, and when they get their shit figured out, they're like, I want a fun car.
it's a great idea.
But
Yeah,
that's
you should. You should do
but
it.
that's why it's mid 30s to mid 40s, depending on when they get their shit together.
Yes. And sometimes they forget that, yeah, we're getting older and they buy Corvettes and maybe their knees are giving out. But like, you could buy other cars and still have a great time. Buy that car that you love to drive. It does not have to be the fastest.
So
Does not have to be the most expensive.
I think a lot of people who buy a Corvette, okay, there's car enthusiasts, and then there's the New Balance guy who buys a Corvette. But the New Balance guy who buys a Corvette probably started in a Chevy Malibu and then
Yep.
bought a Chevy something else, basic, get back and forth, and then he finally like got to a point where he could get the fun Chevy, and that's how he ended up in that's how that happens. The majority of those people, they're not actually car people. Okay, what they're buying is this almost status symbol. It's why they only go to car shows and they try to keep the mileage low, and they're worried about those things instead of actually going and like hammering on that car and having a good time.
Yeah.
They're different. And I'm not trying to say you can't get into cars or become a car person or whatever. I don't want this to be gatekeepy. It's just how it ends up. And then we had a whole heap of new car enthusiasts that happened in the early 2000s, and carried well into the mid 2010s. Like, that whole group of people were fairly new car enthusiasts, and now we're kind of getting their shit together and they can get what they want. And for a lot of people, a Corvette's not even on their list. They want the thing that they couldn't have then. Then a lot of them had Civics or maybe a rat box WRX that blew up and was just a complete pile of shit for them, and they always wanted this STI that other guy had, you know what I mean? Or like they saw it in a magazine or something like that. Like, they had this vision of this thing they wanted, and that's how they end up in that.
Yeah, what I'm gunning at is that not all car enthusiasts are driving enthusiasts.
No.
And you see a lot of the car enthusiasts, not so many of the drivers. So for Corvettes, the other part that I was getting at is they're pretty expensive. And I've said this before on the podcast, it's really cool to be able to afford a once in a generation car in your 20s. And a BRZ that's like $30,000 before inflation started to bite. It's a really good deal. It's not
Still
cheap,
great.
but it's an extremely good deal.
It's a great deal.
It's
a great
an epic deal.
I actually
Um,
really
So
miss my BRZ a lot.
I give a lot of credit to Subaru for selling those cars that are accessible to so many people. So
look at that.
I would.
Look at that. Look at that.
So in the
Yeah,
chat,
it's
Dewey
hot.
posted a Bug Eye, I guess.
Ah,
Is that a
it's
Bug
Yeah,
Eye?
so
It's
good.
that. It's the car he was talking about earlier, where you kind of like just snagged his pictures for this.
Yeah.
Bug Eye
Can't remember the
WRX,
guy.
but it's STI'd, I guess.
It's got a lot of fun JDM parts. That's an S202 wing. He's
Right.
got
Right.
a lot
Yeah,
of
it's
rare
Felix's
JDM bits
car,
and
right?
bobs all over the place. Look at that damn thing.
Oh,
And
it's
I
got
tell you
the
what, that
got the
wheel
roof
tire
scoop.
combo is mint. Mint.
What is that wheel tire combo? That looks like
Those are Advent RGs in an 18 by 9.5, and I think it's about a plus 40, and it is fucking perfect on there. I think he's running
looks
either
fantastic.
255, 265 on it. It
Oh,
looks
he
so
put the
good.
little eyelids on the Bug Eyes, man.
Yeah,
Some
I'm
people.
not a fan of that. I really like that C West grill. You know, he's got
Sure
a
do.
bunch of really just trick shit on here.
He's got a 7-Eleven air freshener. Look at you. He's up on the
Speaking
on
of
the
other
new.
things that are just popping up in my feed, which I'm pretty excited about. You know, stupid shit. Maybe I'll talk JJ into trying to buy this because it's amazing. Top rank international vehicle importers. They're based out of California. These guys have all sorts of stuff. Okay.
Heard of them.
Couple of days ago, they posted up they're getting a Tommy Kara M20B 2.2. Okay, and if you don't know
is
what
that
that is, I will
that's
post
one
a
of their
picture.
cars.
Yes, they have their own. That is this.
Oh, that's
Oh,
no.
you're.
Oh gosh.
Oh, look at that.
Oh.
Wow. So when I think of Tommy Kara, I think of Gran Turismo. I don't know who they are. I guess it's like a tuning house.
It was a tuning
they-
house that also they manufactured a couple of cars too, some like small
Yes,
like
they
MR2
did.
style cars. But mostly what they're known for is kind of almost like a like a Saline or
Upfitter?
something like that, kind of where
Yeah.
they would get body and white cars and kind of do their own thing with it. And they did some different Subarus. They did this one called an M20B, and that was a GC8. Okay. And then they
Okay.
did this one, which is the 2.2, which I'm assuming is M20B2. But the 2.2 is they stroked out a EJ207. So that's what comes in this. Is a 207, but a 2.2 liter built by them. These with a
Stroker.
little bit larger turbo and just, you know, suspension and goodies. They're I don't I'm gonna guess this is probably gonna go for about 80.
Oh wow.
Which I don't think is a bad deal for what it is, but I also don't think it's if you don't know what it is, you're not gonna care.
A lot of people don't. That's a very obscure cool
That's gonna
car
be
in the land of
niche
Subaru.
that's an obscure car in the land of just whatever.
Everything.
But if
Yep.
you know what it is, people are gonna lose their shit.
Yep.
I don't know. I'm kind of in
while
love with
while
it.
Dewey's just drooling over that question in the chat, to me, warranty. When you camped out at Laguna Seca, you recommended an awesome camp spot. Where was that at? I've got a group of friends racing there soon, and I remember you talking about it. I'll be honest, I don't remember. I don't remember how I slept, where I slept at Laguna Seca.
I got a
because
couple of different
I-
spots for you. Okay.
Go for it.
The spot to camp if you really want to see some cool stuff. There is, as you come in, there's going to be you're going to be able to go up the hill on your right hand side, and it'll put you on the outside of, I'll give you a turn number, but it's basically the kink going up the hill. And it's got this roundabout in like 6 or 7 spots up on the top of this hill. And it puts you far enough back to where you're not hanging out with a ton of people. You know, it shouldn't get too crowded, but you got this epic view of cars going through that kink and destroying their splitters and sending it off into the grass or into the kitty litter, and smacking walls and all sorts of. It's so good. It's a fantastic. Honestly, I think it's the best spot there. And
Is
it's
that right before the corkscrew, or is that like turn 1.
It is it's the corner kind of before the corkscrew, the kink going up the hill.
Got it. Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And I could probably even get you a corner number if you give me a hot second, but it's
Yep.
really good. That is probably my favorite spot. I know people were camping up there. That's where Rob Wilkinson was camping. So I should tell you something. Rob knows a thing or two about, awesome spots, and Rob Wilkinson was camping up there.
The main road to get you to the infield is like on a ridge line, and you can see the majority of the track, like the front straightaway, and then turn 1 and 2, and then 3 and 4. And so you can see a lot. You don't get to see the corkscrew because that's up a hill behind you, but where you're spectating, you can at least see 30 to 40% of the track
It would
at
be
any one time.
right above turn 6 is what that is.
Okay. Yeah.
So it is, yeah.
I think there was a shower facility back there too.
I think so. I think there's a shower facility up on top of that hill. So again, you're not dealing with all of the rest of the riffraff up there. But then again, if you want to get down into the pits, you're a little ways away, which may or may not be
It's a walk.
good for you. So yeah, that's a good one.
All right, scrolling up.
Somebody was asking about your bike behind you.
Yeah. All right, so I'm on video today because I'm at home.
Yeah,
I've got
tell
two
us
bikes
about your
behind
bike.
me.
Maybe pull it down if you want. Like chat about your bike a little
I
bit.
don't want to pull it down, but
Rainy.
so I got 3 bikes on camera right now. I'm working from home. Yeah, I'm at home today. So on the bottom is a blue Cervelo Soloist. That's the race bike. It's got SRAM force axis and reserve carbon wheels. So it's the Hot Boy bike. Above it is a Specialized Diverge, also a SRAM force axis. It's got Roval carbon wheels. It's pink, hot pink with a fade on it. That's my gravel bike as well as my commuter bike. And then over my left shoulder is the mountain bike. That's a Santa Cruz Tallboy. It's XL, so it's also SRAM, ETAP, whatever's their second best, and then carbon wheels on it as well. It's a 29er. So they call it a down country bike, so cross country downhill. As you can tell, all 3 bikes have carbon wheels and carbon frames because I used to work at a bike shop, and it's great. So I care actually a lot more about the bikes that I have than the cars that I have because like cars are fun, but people are better. So in terms of like gear nerding, I care a lot about bicycles. Cars are, they're fine.
He really likes his bicycles.
Yeah. On the BRZ, I have a hitch that mounts into the two tow hooks on the back. So it's by Slambird Engineering, which is just a dude that likes to pay for his autocross hobby. And this hitch that he makes, it just screws into the 2 tow hooks on the back of a BRZ, and you can't actually like tow a trailer with it. It's just for bike racks. It's got a really low tongue weight, really low towing capacity. So I just put a Kuat rack on that and put 2 bikes on it. So yeah, BRZ is a great practical car. You can carry bikes.
You can carry bikes. That's
I
all
can
you
already
need.
see it now. You mentioned the tow hooks, and people are going to try towing with those now.
Don't do
I
that.
can see it now. Don't do that.
I know a guy that was like a regional champion for autocross, and he bought a really lightweight tire trailer. So he had a toolbox and 4 wheels and tires and towed that behind his BRZ. Anything besides that, you're really asking for trouble because it's just big old bolts. It's not actually like hard mounted to the frame.
Not only that, like
Right, yeah.
a BRZ doesn't have a good frame for anything. Like you shouldn't be towing with your BRZ. The
Right.
only
It doesn't have
Subaru
the
I've
right
ever
ratio
seen that
either.
is technically rated for towing is the Ascent, and it's
Well,
Eh,
Foresters are rated, so are Outbacks, and believe it or not, the non-turbo, I don't remember this, like the non-wilderness turbo Outbacks are the ones with 5,000 pounds towing rating.
interesting.
So Ascents also vary. Yeah, Ascents are either 5,000 pounds with the trans cooler or 3,500 pounds without the transmission cooler. So it never goes higher than that for the land of Subaru. But, if you had a BRZ and a really lightweight aluminum trailer, you might be able to make it work. And then you could show up and like be the cool kid, camp on the roof of your Ascent or something. But next question in the chat: hot takes on the hybrid Crosstrek. So I'll start with that. I saw it last year, almost a year ago at the Chicago Auto Show. my initial impression is it's probably going to be a whole lot better than the first generation hybrid Crosstrek, which became like a compliance car. So I don't remember where I was, but I was at a dealer doing something that was completely unrelated. Somebody came in and said, "Hey, can you repair my hybrid Crosstrek, the old one?" And the dealer said, "No, sorry, we don't have anybody certified to help you with this car."
Oh,
That's a
gross.
problem.
That is a serious
That's a
issue.
problem. Yeah, so that was like one of the better dealers in the area too. So that's a problem. I think this new one will be better. I th- they replaced the spare tire area with batteries, so you don't really lose anything in terms of trunk space, and you get better fuel economy. I don't know about power. The problem is the only two things that I care about is, can I run the HVAC all night from the high voltage system so I can like sleep in comfort at a campsite, and two, just give me an extra 50 horsepower for 10 seconds. That's all I need. I just want like turbo mode or like boost mode and then let it recharge later. But they don't do that because Subaru's really geared towards dogs, adopting dogs, adopting love. I just
Adopting love.
I,
That's
they
what
could-
it's adopting love.
They could do so much better. But what do I
Give
know?
us
I'm
a
just
Gravel Express.
Gravel Express.
Damn it.
Yeah, Gravel not non-turbo. I don't care about turbos anymore. I care about plug-in hybrids.
I could
Gravel Express,
100%
baby.
see. I don't know. I really. So I called this. We're gonna wander into this.
Okay.
I'm sure you saw this recently that Subaru basically said, "Well, we showed these new concepts. We want to hear from you guys. Which ones you think we should do?" And first off, I called it when they showed two concepts that were so drastically different, and one being electric, one being gas powered, and which everybody went nuts for one. I don't know why they even felt they had to say something, but I think the closest we're ever going to get to a Gravel Express is going to be a parts bin STI based on a Crosstrek, and you know what? I'm okay with that.
I think I am too, but we were talking last week or the week before about kayfabe. Okay, kayfabe is
Somebody, you need to explain what kayfabe is.
okay. Kayfabe, I think it's a Japanese word, but don't quote me on
Is
that.
it?
But it's
Oh,
basically.
it could be.
I thought.
You know what?
So.
It absolutely could be.
Yeah. So if you're watching something fake, but you allow yourself to believe it, then it becomes real. But as soon as you
So let me hold on. So
hold on.
kayfabe is a pro wrestling when it's used in modern terms is a pro wrestling kind of insider term for basically living the pro wrestling reality. Okay, it's no matter what, you defend the concept that this is real, okay, and you are this character. So that is like when you would have Macho Man Randy Savage when he was out in public at any point, for especially through the 80s and the 90s when kayfabe was still huge.
Yeah.
Okay, even though we all knew it was fake, okay, they acted this part no matter what, and they would not break kayfabe for anything. And kayfabe got really messed up during the 90s when the lines started getting real blurry, and that's what actually kind of kicked off some of the Attitude Era and the NWO stuff, and a lot of it was like, oh, the corporate stuff is getting involved, but we're the real people and fighting back, and like like the cops got involved, and like a lot of this, like the lines got super blurred as to what's real, what isn't, and it's what made it super interesting. But and nowadays, like wrestlers will go out and they've kind of blown kayfabe to pieces because wrestlers will talk about the industry as the industry and how things happen in the background and heels and baby faces and all that stuff. But that kayfabe is kind of covering all of that and like just acting as if this is real. And okay.
So I checked the Wikipedia article. It's not a Japanese term, and it did originate with professional wrestling, and now it's used for everything.
All sorts of stuff.
Yes.
Stripping.
It is. Well, yeah, because it's real. 'Cause, like, look, strippers are not your friend, right? You're paying them to be like
But
friendly with you.
if kayfabe
But-
is there, even though you're paying for it, you pay for cable
Right.
too. So
Yes. Yes.
You
Yeah.
wanna-
Like you still have to obviously still have to be respectful, but like it's performative theater. So
it is.
where was I going with this? There was a reason for this.
He just
I
really
mean, we were
wanted to talk
talking
about
about-
his strip club experience.
We were
again.
talking about okay. So Japan is a very different culture from America.
Drastically.
It's very honor bound. It's very much decisions come from the top. You know, you earn your place all the way up, and then people don't question it. It's basically 100% different from how it works in America. So they needed to have the appearance to whether it's their shareholders or somebody important to them that they were trying very hard with these EVs. And then they put both of those concept cars out there, and people lost their mind over another parts bin car, which is honestly kind of boring. And now they have cover.
You're
being
the only
upper
one who
management
thinks
at
this is
Subaru.
boring.
What's that?
You're the only one who thinks it's boring.
Uh,
Okay, let me put
They've
this.
sold
You're
this-
in the extreme minority.
yeah. Oh, I know.
Okay.
You're right. But
Okay.
like, I bought an STI in 2015. By that point, that car was on sale for over a decade, and it had largely not changed. So it's now another decade after I bought that 2015 STI. Why would I buy that car again? I wouldn't. That's why I was like nerding out over the Honda Prelude. The problem is that the Honda Prelude is too Japanese. I'll come back to that. So I want the STI to be somehow better than it was when I bought it 10 years ago, and a little bit better handling ain't going to cut it. So I want something else, man. That's all. Anyway, so
I
need
just
to
want
give
another
Japan cover.
STI. I see what you're saying, but the problem is we need to get back to at least what we were, or a version of what we were, which before
Yes,
we
I
can start
agree.
doing new and interesting things. And one of the things
Yes.
that drew a lot of us to STIs and was the arms race that it had with the Evo for years, and all these new and weird technologies and crazy shit they were putting into these cars. You know,
Mhm.
every year or two there would be some system or something interesting. AVCS, DCCD, you know, new chassis that did something better, torsional rigidity, whatever. There was all these new
Exactly.
and interesting things, twin scroll turbos, whatever. All
Right.
these new and interesting things that were happening that kind of kept us this arms race, you know, kept it close and fun and interesting. And then I gotta be real,
Yes.
when Mitsubishi stopped trying, a couple of years later Subaru stopped trying, and we kept getting the
That's
same
right.
stuff over and over and over. And I agree with you,
Uh-huh.
but the world needs an STI again, even if it's fairly that kind of the same recipe of what it was. I think it needs that again. And maybe what we're going to get out of this will be an inter-company warfare, and we might get a GR Corolla versus STI arms race.
I hope so.
I do too.
I think you're right.
I hope they don't
I-
fight it.
I think you're right, but compared to 2015, there are a bunch of Hyundai N cars with DSGs farting around, and the
They're all
Ford
front-wheel
Focus RS
drive!
came and went. The Civic Type R is back. Like it's a different landscape. It's we're enthusiasts, but there's only so many of us out there. How do you get new people to buy the car? So at the end of the day, this is all money.
Yeah, no, how do you get new people to buy that car? One, there's only so many enthusiasts out there. I think we can all agree on this, right?
Yep.
So how do you gain this piece of the pie? You need to go back to what sold STIs in the first place. Slow motion videos of
Yeah.
these fucking things sliding around, acting complete hoon ass, pretending they were rally cars. You need to sell pretend rally cars again.
I agree, but I also don't agree. So let's talk about the Brat Hoonigan video. That was probably the most technically advanced Hoonigan video yet.
It was cool.
And one of the and it was like one of the coolest like builds from Vermont Sports Car as well, with the
Sure.
wing that expanded and things like that.
But
But
you can't buy that.
you can't buy that, but it's also derivative. Like they've been doing that for a while. So how does that really make you like
You can't
lose
buy
your
that.
mind? I know, but it's
No. You
The
can't buy
feeling-
that. How do you can't lust for a brat. You know what I mean?
Hear me out. Hear
Especially
me out.
Like a
that.
brat.
I remember the feeling of Ken Block's early Hoonigan videos with the Subaru STI hatchback or whatever it was, and how just outstandingly cool that was, because I'd never seen anything like it. Granted, I'm older, but this is like the 10th version of that same formula, and I'm bored by it.
But
So
you
I'm hoping
could,
young people are not.
I can't stress this enough. You can't build that brat. A human being cannot build that brat. If you
I'm
take
hearing you.
off the fucking off the showroom floor STI, and
Yep.
all you need is some really great slow motion video, maybe in it going by some track curbing, maybe on some dirt, like just looking awesome. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
telling you, it's going to work. And then you have a bunch of us psychopaths out here, guys like me, who are like, this is great. Dynamically, this car drives great. It does what you want. If you want to go pretend you're Colin McRae, this car is you. And
I hear you. I'm agreeing with you for like slightly different reasons, which is Subaru needs a flagship sports car or sports sedan again, and the BRZ is just like, it's not advertised enough to be that.
The BRZ is its
And it
own
should.
thing. It is,
It's out-
and people totally misunderstood what the BRZ was. The
Yeah.
BRZ is a great sports car.
Yes.
A
It's
STI
fantastic.
never was a sports car, and that's where I think everybody missed the idea of it. It's not a sports car. It never was.
Subaru needs to bring their Corvette back, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, but the thing is, Subaru never made a Corvette. The closest thing they ever made was an SVX. That is as close as a Corvette ever got.
No, we're getting into details here. I
No,
don't agree
we're
with
not.
that. SVX did not move the needle. So
no,
like
Subaru realized it can't make a Corvette, so they stopped
Right.
trying, and they never should try it again.
the car was too Japanese. Way too Japanese.
Yes.
The SVX. Yes.
This
is what I'm saying.
The recipe is make this ridiculous ass this rally bred thing,
Right.
for doing all the things at an extremely high rate of speed. Okay, and that's what the
Okay.
STI, how we all looked at an original O2 Bugeye. The thing that got me hyped up, thing that was
Yep.
like, I want this in my life. I was driving a Del Sol at the time, and I saw this. Okay, so I had this kind of sports car-y thing. In fact, I was driving a second gen, an FC RX-7 when the thing actually, we started seeing pictures and
Wow.
stuff of it. Okay,
That's
that's what I was
That's a
driving at the
time
time, and I
time in
saw
history,
this, and I'm
man.
like, this car could do everything. It's got
Yep.
all-wheel drive. I can drive it in the winter. It looks cool as shit. I can put people in the back seat. I can take my mom around in it, and she isn't going to question why I'm doing this. Like, I can do everything in this car. Okay, and even for its time, and again, its time, it even looked kind of classy. Okay, like it had its own
Yep.
weird appeal to it. You could do all the things in a WRX, and you could do all the things in an STI. And,
Yes.
and you can have your cake and eat it too. And that is what the dream of an STI is. And you can have it at a price that isn't insane.
We've had this conversation before. If it was as simple as just selling rally cars, the WRX would sell a whole lot better, because that's
No!
a fantastic street car,
It's
and you can
not!
ride around and everything's
You
great.
can't! That car dynamically out of the box is trash! And it's
Ugh.
huge! And it's only got one diff and it sucks!
Subaru-
It doesn't, when you get in it, you don't feel dangerous.
No. No,
That is one thing an STI always, even the VA STI, you felt a
Yeah.
little dangerous. You felt
Sure
this
did.
is special
felt
and
like
it's
I
a
was
little
driving
dangerous.
a tractor. Man, when I drove that car slowly, I was like, this is just the weirdest Impreza. It is so it's just loud, it's just
Yeah,
feels like a tractor.
it makes diff noises. It shouldn't,
Yep.
it whines. It does all sorts. That's the sort of thing. Like the soul is gone. Okay, that
Right.
car is not for everybody. Now, a bunch of people will convince themselves it is for them, and it probably isn't. But that car is not for everybody, and it was never meant to be. But for those it's right for, it's perfect.
That's where I'm going. which is when I was driving an STI urgently, I never thought about how weird this car was. It was just, this is so good. This is so
Yes!
capable. I
It
felt
clears
dangerous.
ground
Felt like
like
the Batman.
crazy. Yeah, you're
Yes.
like, dude, I can
Bring back that feeling.
I can do
Subaru needs to
anything in
bring
this
that.
car, and you never feel like that in a new WRX.
Yep. Yep. Part of why I didn't like the coilovers on my BRZ. It was really good, but it was boring, man. And harsh on the street, but that's a different story. So
That's a completely different argument. You want a sports car to be something that it isn't. Okay.
I want a car to have soul, and I asked for a Cayman, and I got a really clunky Cayman.
You got a Cayman.
approximation.
I gave you a Cayman, and then you're like, yeah. So we will figure something else out. I hear there's stuff in the works, so we will see where it goes.
Hope springs eternal.
Yes.
Bonus season's coming up. Tax return season's coming up. So anyway, Subaru needs to bring back that flagship car. Like a Corvette is inaccessible to basically
is it a
everybody in their
flagship though?
20s.
I don't think Subaru even look at it as its flagship. That's
Performance car?
No,
Yeah.
it'll be a performance car. It's not a sports car,
Yeah.
and there is a difference here. Okay, it is. I don't think
Yes.
it'll be looked at as its flagship. It's the Outback Wilderness with all the goodies. It's still going to be more expensive, and that will be its flagship.
Yeah, I think Subaru is doing a good job on like the the wilderness side. Like those cars look the part culturally. I'm sure they
Mhm.
fit the part, but like WRX is weird, man, and it's not the
WRX,
leader. The BRZ is the leader.
The WRX isn't. Subaru tried to separate the WRX and the STI really hard too. Okay, and they're going to be tied together in one way or another, but the STI has always been kind of its own thing, at least here in the States as we know it. Okay, but what sold us originally on this whole thing, because we never even got turbo Subarus, okay, until we got the WRX, so that was the pinnacle, and then the STI happened. But the STI, what got us going was this thing has got all of it. Okay, it's got this crazy transmission, 3 diffs, DCCD, suspension that is harsh and fucking awful, and we don't give a shit because we want this. Okay, and that is, they need to make that again.
I agree, but I don't want it to be how it was, because like the world has moved on.
No, it needs to be how it was. The world needs that again. It needs that level of criminal again.
I don't know if I can buy it. I've had a chat with somebody I
You don't have to
value.
buy it. It ain't for you.
Okay. I wish it was.
I know you wish it was, but what you think it is, isn't. You're one of those people that thought this was for you and it wasn't.
What? The STI? No, I don't agree with that at all. That was a great do-everything car.
It was a great do-everything car, but you were also in one of the, you were after Subaru was trying to sell STIs to everybody mode. I'm still, have you ever driven an 04 STI in raw form?
I drove your silver car, but that was in like time attack trim.
That was in kill mode. It would astound you how close the 04 STI was to that car. I gotta be real, but my 05 was, that wasn't fair.
Your black STI, which was like stage 2.
Okay.
Pretty soft coilovers. It had some body roll on it. Like I think it was short gearing, and that car was fun. Like driving around a corporate park.
It absolutely was. Your car was a significantly more refined version of that.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. The 2015, by the time VA STIs came around, like the regular driving was better because it's a newer car, whatever, but it's also extremely boring. And then driving fast didn't have that feeling of dangerousness the way the 05 was.
I agree with what Jordan just posted. He needs more stockish cars that can do that. I agree. And then we need to be sold on that dream again. That dream.
So that's the right dream. That's a WRX. That's a Bugeye WRX, like going over a crest and all 4 wheels are off the ground. Like
Subaru put inverted struts on the 04 STI, 04 to 07 STI, and they clunk like hell, and they did it because you believe they'd be better at this. You were okay with all of the problems because you felt it was engineered to do that. I want to feel that it was engineered to do that.
Yeah. Okay. You're saying that any VB WRX cannot do that. It's just not going to feel right.
No, at no point
They
will it ever.
use-
You need again differentials, fucking clunky ass whiny 6-speed that I know is built like a tank. Really short ass gearing. Okay, like all of these like super thin glass, next to no sound deadening. Like I really hope whatever they put together for an STI feels raw. Even though it might not be, maybe it's cheap, but it feels raw. Yeah, and they can. What's crazy is you can actually make cheap feel raw really easy. Hell, Porsche does it all the fucking time. They charge you more to delete things.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, take that path. I am down. I'm lining up for it.
We're agreeing,
Yeah,
but we're yelling about it.
We are
Jeez.
yelling about
It's
agreeing.
exactly what. It's literally what I
Okay,
said
for
earlier
this
in the private chats. Serpent Wolf's like VA and VB are just commuter muted turbo cars. The VA I don't necessarily agree with, but the VB 100% agree with.
The VA,
Yeah,
I gotta be real. Like Subaru did a really good job of doing some very interesting stuff with the VB or the VA, and I think they maybe learned some cool lessons from it, and I hope they take it that way. The GR, if you ask anybody in stock form, a GR STI feels bloated and wallowy, and it just wasn't great. And then all of a sudden, the VB or the VA STI was like, man, this is so much more direct and yada yada. They only changed one thing, really. They've changed two, okay? But the big thing
Which
they
was?
changed was just putting a faster steering rack in it. So the car felt way more direct, and then they put a thicker front sway bar in it, so the front end, with that faster steering rack, everything felt more direct. But the general overall concept of that car really wasn't that different. They put a little nicer interior and whatever in it, but like the basic bones of that chassis were the same between the two.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the VB is just a better version of a VA. Like
The chassis was better, but then they got rid of the stuff that made it great. The really fast steering rack.
Yeah.
Okay. They got rid of the 3 differentials. Like these are things that when you took that stuff away, the VB STI and the VA STI and the VA WRX. Okay.
Yes. Let's have this argument. Let's go.
It is actually wild how different those vehicles are.
They're two
Yes.
different cars.
They
They're
are
two
two different cars, and
completely
they have
different
two
cars.
different engines. The FA20, completely different motor.
I agree, but and it was a completely different motor, and it kind of didn't have the sound you were looking for and the feeling. And that's one thing I will say: the VB, even though it's not going to sound like a unequal length, EJ. Okay,
EJ.
Yep.
Yeah.
it made a pile of torque and had that rally car kind of like oomph to it. It works really well for this. So I think they got the engine right, and they lost the soul of everything else.
They took everything else out on the VB.
The VB lost its soul. It needs
Yeah.
it needs the differential. It needs that really fast steering rack. It needs to have that direct feeling back. They need to put overly aggressive, really hard sidewall tires on it. Okay, they need to amp the spring rate way the fuck through the roof. They need to over dampen the living shit out of the shocks. They need to make that car feel so fucking harsh that when Car and Driver goes to drive it, they go, this thing is entirely too harsh for human beings. And you know what? That is what is going, they need Car and Driver to say that. They don't think they were, when they were getting told this stuff, especially with the GR STI, that it's too wallowy or whatever. And then they didn't understand with the GD STI, when you say stuff like this is too harsh for people, it sold cars. The same way that right now, if you're trying to talk somebody out of a Lotus Elise, okay, dude, this thing's rattly, it's too thin, there's no carpeting in it whatsoever, it's like, it is not good for a daily driver. This is going to be awful. The people who would want to buy a Lotus Elise are going, I want that. This sounds like a fucking race car for the street. I desperately want this.
Yeah.
They need to do that. Make that like the
So
bolstering's too high on the seats and it's gonna rack your nuts every time you get into it. Yes, I want that. The stereo sounds like shit and I won't care because I ain't gonna turn it on. Like
Yeah.
I want this thing to be a fire breathing. I want it to pretend. I want it to be a pretend fire breathing monster. And they don't
Yep.
realize that's what sold. That's what made this work. Is trying to talk somebody out of car and drivers trying to say, yeah, this ain't for you. Really made it for you for a lot of people.
I agree 100%. And the WRX is just supposed to be
The
light
pedestrian,
version of that
that's
car.
an Impreza with a turbo. And they did that. Okay,
yeah,
that's
but
what the
they
WRX
also did it with-
originally started as way back before we even got it here. Okay? And the WRX got a little more special. We all have this in our brain because when we got the WRX, with what kicked Nasiak off and everything else, the WRX was actually a bit more special than like it was originally meant to be. Okay, and it became what it was supposed to be in 08 again when it got boring again. Okay. And then they made tweaks to it, but the STI was always supposed to be the rowdy bastard that had all the race car shit on it that didn't make any sense. You know, why do you need this for the street? I don't know, but I need it.
You're like, I need it. That's actually
All right,
it was
so-
funny when I was buying my STI. The dealership was like the salesman. He's like, "Do you really need this for the road?" I'm like,
so
"It's
many
not
people
for
are
the road, I
trying to
promise
talk you out of it. And that's what
Yeah.
made it so good.
All right, comments in the chat from JK VB Club Spec. So VB Club Spec suspension is super harsh. I always get complaints from passengers on every drive.
So they
that's
were getting close. I
that's
haven't
the-
driven a
that's the one
VB
with
Club Spec, so I don't know.
Hold on, it's in Australia. It's the
Oh,
one
we
with the
never got
electronic
that.
dampers,
Yep.
19-inch wheels, 6-pot Brembos in the front, Recaro seats.
So they
like,
tried to make an STI
that's-
with the wrong transmission. And
they had everything except differentials and the transmission.
and you know what? That's what it should feel like. It should be kind of awful. And that's what's making it great because the only thing that car needs to do right is give you that one moment where you maybe entered a road 10, 15 mile an hour too fast and somehow it all made sense. And you're going to get that one millisecond of I feel like a fucking superhero right now and shouldn't. And you will be sold on that car for the rest of your life.
I'm gonna cautiously disagree because 19-inch wheels on a WRX is just too weird for me.
I agree.
I think it's too like tarmac spec.
I don't
kinda
know.
tacky.
The only reason you'd ever put 19-inch wheels on a WRX with that small of a sidewall would be for you to it was you were trying to achieve a particular look, not a particular experience. When they put 19s on the STI here in the States, it was not a good idea. When they put 6-piston brakes on that to look a particular way, and then the first time you took it to a track day, they discolored, that wasn't good. Okay.
Yeah.
I think Subaru peaked with the STI here in the States as the best STI. There are only two, you know, that I think hella raw GR STIs. Okay.
Agree.
And
Or
the GDs, sorry. Hella raw GD STIs. So 04, as much as I love it because it's the most raw, the 05 and the 07, okay, in my opinion, are peak STI. And then the 15 to 17 STI was honestly out of the box, probably the best STI we ever got. It did everything the best.
Yes.
And
in terms of balance, I agree. So I'm one step ahead on that argument, which is if they bring it back, are they going to bring back this hard boiled, electronic dampers, 19-inch wheels?
What kind of STI are we getting?
Brembos?
Are we
Exactly.
getting the Hot Boy 18 to 21 STI? Okay, or are we getting a rebirth of the 05 or 07?
Yeah, I'm saying bring back an 05 to 07.
I agree with you.
Lightweight. I put 17-inch wheels on it with big old marshmallow sidewalls. Like
maybe I would be okay with 18s. I think 18s are a fair compromise. Okay.
Okay.
But I would prefer them to give us enough room to shove A better, a smaller wheel tire package on it or a larger wheel tire package. We could go either direction. To do that, a 4-piston Brembo actually is better for that. Maybe give us a more competition oriented but use that pad shape, because there's a million things out there that use that pad shape still being made. It exists. You still cannot get good options. Like, all this infrastructure exists. Use it, Subaru.
Yep. Yeah. So, do you know what I want? I want that very like raw economy car feeling that's got plenty of performance and all the crazy stuff that Subaru STIs are known for, where it's a really weird car. Why would you ever buy this? Because you want to be the Batman. But something hybrid. Like, don't take away those 3 differentials, but like put a hybrid motor generator in the transmission.
Hey, I'm okay with that if they want to do that in 3 or 4 years down the road, but take whatever that core is that's working. And if you want to add, you want to make the STIE, like here's this hybrid, it's going to add 400 pounds, but it's also going to add 100 horsepower whenever you want it.
Exactly. To just get you out of the hole.
And maybe it's got some interesting utility to it, to like, you could drive the thing totally on battery, as it's almost a novelty, but you can do it. You know what I mean? I'm okay with that. Like, I'm fine with that. I might not want to purchase that, but I think the fact that it's an option would be cool. Sure.
Think about the Miata. The Miata has not really changed that much, but Mazda spent an enormous amount of time and money making it as close as possible to the original, while still having modern safety standards, modern emissions. Everything has to be a little bit nicer.
Mazda learned its lesson.
Formula.
Okay. Mazda, the NA, huge hit. NB, sold a ton of them. NC should have been this giant hit and wasn't, because they listened to what they thought. All of these people who actually weren't the enthusiasts, what they thought people would want would sell more Miatas. Like, it needs to be a little bigger. It needs to have all these, these certain things that like, and it took away from what the Miata was, but those people didn't buy Miatas. So then they realized that ain't the right answer. And then they built the Miata again with the ND. And that's why the ND did so much better and turned into this darling, because they stopped listening to all these other people and made a raw ass car again.
Yep. So Subaru listened to the focus groups, because the focus groups told them they need 6-piston Brembos on a VB WRX. There is no purpose for that. It is the weirdest car on the market right now. Why would you do that?
Serapin Wolf, you are so right. If Subaru listened to the same type of people saying all this shit, the BRZ would have been ruined by now.
Totally. It does not need a turbo.
And now, how good is the current BRZ and or GR86? It's phenomenal.
Yep.
It's so good. But if they would have listened to what everybody said, put a turbo in, make it bigger, do all these things, basically make a rear-wheel drive WRX, it would have been ass and nobody would have wanted it. You know what it would have been by now if they weren't listening? It would have been the Genesis Coupe.
Oh, ooh.
That's what it would have turned into.
Fighting words.
But think about it. That car was huge, but it made 270 horsepower in its heyday.
Yep.
Because it had a turbo and did what it was supposed to do. Huh?
I think it's like a 500 horse or 400 or 500 pounds coupe.
Oh, yeah. The Gen Coupe got really heavy.
3,300 pounds to over 3,600 pounds for the V6 model. Oh my gosh. That's like 800 pounds more than a BRZ.
Yeah.
Like,
yikes.
That's gross. That's gross. Like, you can't make up for that.
Because that's what happens when you try to build a car by committee.
Yeah. So Subaru did not listen for all the turbo kids for BRZs, and the BRZ is better for it. So putting it on paper or putting it on the podcast one more time, turbos add like 50 to 100 pounds of weight on the front of the car, which reduces the handling like quality, because it's even more weight on the front of the car. So you're better off with just higher displacement NA for weight balance.
Yeah, Serapin Wolf, you just nailed it. The STI should not be impressive for a first date. In fact, your date should question what the hell is happening. she'll grow to understand it, I promise you. But it should not be like, this should not be rolling up with an Audi S4. And it shouldn't be even trying to be that. Stop trying to be that. It shouldn't be that. And I truly think the original STI, or sorry, the VA STI went too far that way. The original STI was this gaudy, crazy ass thing.
Here's the thing. I'm going to turn 37 in about 6 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I can buy an STI, man. It's just too flashy.
It isn't for you. Okay, now I do believe what they should do is release the STI. Okay, and then they should release an STI Limited. It'll have a sunroof. It'll get rid of the giant crazy wing to something a little more subdued. It won't be blue on gold. Okay, it'll probably have a little bit more sound deadening, and it'll have seats that won't kill you. Maybe even do some suspension tuning that won't murder you. They should then turn around and sell that. That better not be the first thing they fucking release. If they want to release a STI A-line or something, great. And you know who that's for? You. Okay? But you're a niche case. And they should only sell 2,000 of those. And it should be limited. And you should be lining up at the dealership to buy it, and you'll be one of the only 2,000. It'll probably be worth money.
I wish that existed, but it doesn't. So in the meantime, I should just.
It was called the STI Limited. They did it. They did it in 07. Go look up what an STI Limited is right now.
2007?
Yep, 07 STI Limited.
Okay.
That was an STI with a sunroof, leather seats, chiller suspension, and black Brembos.
Oh, and no wing.
No wing? It was exactly what it was for you. It was for the type of people.
For those young professionals who've been putting off an STI purchase solely because it is too Converse All-Star for their Kenneth Cole world.
Dude.
Wow.
It is you.
I'm just going to buy an M2. Like, yeah, that ain't.
Yeah, you say that until you're like, I want in on this STI life, but I can't do that in my life.
Tell you what, man. If it was a plug-in hybrid, I wouldn't care what it looked like.
Oh my God. So then if it's a plug-in hybrid, I'll go get it, but I'll go buy an M2.
Well, yeah, they're two different cars, right? M2 is just like a 400.
What are you saying? What are you even saying right now? What are you saying right now?
BRZ is a great car. BRZ is a great sports car. It's a great Sunday car. It's also a great daily driver if you're single like
me. Are you going to have both?
30s. No, I'd sell the BRZ.
Okay, then now let's go back to this. But you'll buy an M2, but you live in Chicago with winters.
If I were to level up, it would be buying an M2 because that's just a high horsepower fat BRZ. Okay,
that's fine.
And it's a 2 series BMW. But if I was going just after my heart, a nerd, and I was sold a car or I was presented a car that I could not say no to, I would buy an STI plug-in hybrid. I wouldn't care what it looked like. I wouldn't care what other people said.
We have to pause for a quick second. I've got to go put some sugar in my body or I'm going to have some serious issues. I'll be back in a quick second.
Okay. So while Dewey's vamping, I'm going to talk just a little bit about the Integra. I have not driven it. I've only seen the reviews.
You guys talk about that. I'll be back in a hot sec.
You've only seen you have only seen the reviews of this Integra.
Only seen the reviews, but that's a very Japanese car. Okay, it's got like all the suspension components from a Civic Type R and all the drivetrain components from a Civic Hybrid, and the cost is way too high. So at the end of the day, it's just a 2-door. I think it's like a liftback car with great handling and 0 to 60 in 8 seconds. That's extremely slow.
You're talking about this new one that
brand new Honda Prelude. Yeah. So people are mad because it's a hybrid, and the previous Prelude was like extremely lightweight and amazing. You know, there's probably a good reason for that, but they're really mad because it's ultra slow. I bet Japan thought this was going to be the coolest car ever, because Japan doesn't care about horsepower the same way that we do. Their speed limits are a whole lot lower. They live on an island, so they don't have nearly as many straightaways as we do out here in the cornfields. But man, that is such a cool car on paper that's just not going to sell. So I get that I'm asking for things that are like, you know, kind of off the wall, but I don't want to just buy another STI because I already had one and it was amazing. And even Dewey agreed. I can't believe this, that his second favorite STI is a VA. So 2015 to
Yeah,
2017, three model
the
years.
yeah, the Gen 1 VA,
Yes,
because there's
before they put the
technically 2
six piston
generations.
Brembos on it, before they put the
Yeah.
19-inch wheels on it, like it's already a different car from that early, 2004 to 2007, which was the GD body
Yeah.
chassis style. So yeah, I don't like. I
Yeah.
already bought that car. I already bought it. Okay, I'm turning 37. I have a very nice, job at a corporation. Like, it's just
But
I
you
can't go
don't
on a
wanna
first date with that car. If it was an Impreza, I could, because they would say, "Oh, this guy's very financially responsible."
the point
But
is not to be financially responsible.
Seraphin Wolf
But I get
says
what
the
you're coming from.
average person in Japan is like the average person everywhere. Prelude wasn't for the average person. This new one just misses too many marks. Even the CRZ was targeted well. Yeah, so I never drove a CRZ, but man, what a cool car that was. Hybrid sports car. It was a two-door hatchback, like way ahead of its time. Pretty cool. But yeah, it's a little bit weird that Subaru discontinued the STI versus just like putting the new
I think
motor in
they
it and changing nothing.
I think they
But
wanted to try something else, and stirring the
All right.
pot which
Already feeling better.
was saying they were
good.
getting rid of the STI. It drew attention to
He's
him.
got a Dr. Pepper and some chips.
Hold on.
No,
Can't hear you.
PB&J.
What did I miss?
Is that a PB&J?
It is a PB, and then I got a bunch of fruit snacks and a Dr. Pepper. I need to bring
PB
my
and fruit snacks.
I need to
Alright,
bring my
so-
blood sugar up. I'm
Because I've
crashing.
been I'm just draining you, man, getting you pissed off.
Yeah, you are.
All right, so I talked about the Honda Prelude. It's a very Japanese car.
Mhm.
Civic Type R handling, Honda Civic hybrid drivetrain, and it's extremely slow. Like that's for somebody. It's not for everybody, but it's just not going to sell in America because
Mm-mm.
Japan's speed limits are lower and they live on an island with roads that are not nearly as straight as ours.
It is going to bomb in the US, and everybody's going to want one in 10 years.
Totally. So I get that I'm asking for weird stuff, but like, just sell me
Maybe you
something
just
that's
need to go to
different from the
Japan.
car that I bought 10 years ago.
It ain't
Give me
going to be
hypes.
different. And I want it to be the same thing slightly updated because that's what we need right now in the market. That's what I'm trying to get at.
Someone said that we just need something like old again, but with newer chassis.
It's
like
going to be
style,
like
or
350, 360 horsepower. Okay. It ain't going to be shit. Ain't going to make it's going to be slightly more than whatever the Type R is. Okay. But the selling point is that it's all wheel drive and you can slide around corners. You can drive it in the winter and you can do anything you want with it. And it's going to look slightly rowdier because the Civic Type R looks boring right now. Okay.
Oh, I like the way it looks. It's both
I know
boring
you
and
do.
not boring.
It needs to, but I got to be real. For the STI to do what it needs to do, it needs to be slightly offensive. And that's what the original STI did when it came here in the States. It's got to be offensive. Okay?
Yep.
It is not for you to go do a business meeting in. And then they're going to sell that for a year or two. And then they're going to do a limited again, just like they did in 07, which is what they should do. And people went nuts over that. And they sold all of them. They couldn't keep them on the lot, and they're worth more now. They do a version that is subdued, okay? Sunroof, more sound deadening, chill the shit out, get rid of the wing, do the whole thing, okay? And that is the USTI.
I like the wing, man, but like,
then
I
put a
already
wing
bought
on
that
it.
car. I already bought that car. I don't want to buy it again. Like,
Yeah, you say that until you want to realize you haven't hit your midlife crisis yet.
no, I have not. I think I'd have to be probably 5 years older.
Guess what? Guess what's going to be on the market in about 5 years?
A new STI.
Crazy.
Not only a new STI, but I bet you by that time they're already talking about the limited, and you will be putting your down payment down on it.
If it's not a plug-in hybrid, I won't, because I think that is probably the only thing that would get me to buy an STI at this point. Because like, I make good money, man. I don't need to
Mhm.
buy it. Well, at the time it was $35,000, but adjusting
Okay.
for inflation, it'll be
You
50,000.
you make good money, right?
Yep.
Why do
Right.
you care about a hybrid?
It should be the
Performance is
opposite.
okay. Performance is higher.
Okay.
Fuel economy is potentially the same or higher. So
Who the
like
fuck
they can
cares
hide.
about fuel economy? You make plenty of money.
Uh, actually, that's a great question. It's just another stat on the page.
It's
You're
just
right.
a
But like,
stat. And
dude,
why
I'm
are we
telling you.
even?
So I went to visit you at PRI. I got 30 MPGs on the highway in my BRZ in this amazing sports car, best of a generation.
I'm not trying to take. I'm not trying to say like obnoxiously low. Okay. Like
Sure.
if it got 15 miles to the gallon, we can all have a cry. Okay.
Yes.
But if it gets
Yeah.
mid 20s, shut the fuck up. Then it's gonna.
Fine. Okay, fine. You know, if Subaru does succeed in selling battery EVs, in theory, they'd be able to sell lower fuel economy gas cars because of their fleet economy averages. Plus, I wouldn't be surprised if those get chilled out in the near
They're
future.
already chilled
Okay.
out. They took the teeth
So-
out of it.
More performance. Okay, probably number one. I want a plug-in hybrid system for better performance. You can fill in the torque gaps with the electric motor, and
I'm okay with that. What if
then-
they did some wacky trickery instead of doing a plug-in hybrid? What if they kept the car still light and still fun, but they did some sort of electric assist to the turbocharger itself? What if there was
Yep,
some
I
cool
would like
tech
that.
with that like spun the turbocharger so you were in boost way earlier, and so it's kind of have your cake and eat it too. If what you're looking for is interesting performance, why fuck with a hybrid system? Fuck with a single piece, which is what Subaru's always done. They mess
Yeah.
with single pieces of something.
Yeah, okay, I agree with that. So Japan in general is really good for providing a lot of performance while keeping the car practical and inexpensive. So Corvette E-Ray is really cool. Like Corvette E-Ray is cool because it's a hybrid system in a Corvette that
Uh-huh.
anybody
that selling
can
to?
buy. So now that's
Who's
I'm
that
like
selling
thinking
to?
like a 90
Who's that selling to?
boomers.
No, what okay. What is a boomer seeing that draws them to that over a base model or a Z06? I can answer this real quick, so I'm letting you. I'm interested to see where you go.
Is it all-wheel drive?
No.
Plus the fact that
It
what is it?
literally is at 0 to 60 time. They're buying a fucking number.
Oh, for God's sake. You're right,
Yeah.
and I wish you weren't.
The 0 to 60.
Dude,
is pretty,
I literally like I'm not. Sometimes I hate being this right, but I have you so fucking pinned.
You do. Yeah. So you and I have had this conversation for the past 10 years, which I say something like, the world cannot possibly be this simple. And then you say, it is this simple, and here's the reason. And
Here's
then I go,
why.
damn it. Damn it, you're right. Over and over and over again for the last 10 years.
It is.
So there are not enough nerds out in the world, man. I guess there's just people who want numbers.
No, they
People who want
literally
looks good.
purchase, and that's what they're gonna do. They're gonna take their E-Ray with their New
Yep.
Balance shoes with really low miles.
Yep.
They're gonna go to their Cars and Coffee, and they're gonna brag about how their E-Ray 0 to 60s faster than a 911 GT3.
Yep.
And that's their thing. That's all they want. Those are not. I don't want to say they're not car enthusiasts. They're just not car enthusiasts. Like the reason that sells is
Yeah.
due to that. Now, interesting tech, and now we've grown up a little bit and we want a little more out of our cars. But interesting
Yep.
tech was always one of the reasons that STIs kind of appealed to us. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like we've always felt like they were pushing the limits. So let's say Subaru does some sort of like electrically assisted turbocharger or something like that. I could see that being enough to excite old us. Current me just wants a fucking STI again. Just make
I hear
something
what you're saying.
fun.
Okay. Yeah, I hear what you're saying. Yeah. So I would agree with that. Yeah. If they put like an E wastegate Not an e-wastegate, because
No,
they
it
have
would
that right
it would
now.
have
But
to be
like
an assist. Like for me to be
delete,
excited about it, e-wastegate would be kind of cool. They could do some new
they,
and interesting trickery with that, but it would have to be some sort of mechanical assist.
the FA24 turbo in the current WRX has an e-wastegate,
Yeah.
so that's not a problem anymore. What I actually meant is put a motor generator on the shaft of the turbo, so
Yes.
that you don't need a wastegate. You just dump that extra electricity into the battery, which is a thing. I think Porsche does it now.
Fuck the battery.
Yeah.
Unless it's like a capacitor and it's just filling it up, and then you can turn around and like nail the turbocharger with it again.
Yeah, you can. You can.
No,
That's,
like
it's a high
that would be
voltage
the
system.
only
Yeah.
reason. But like again, like an electrically assisted turbo would be
Yep.
like instead of having to and then it would keep it simple for enthusiasts on our end too. You know, we're
Yes.
not adding crazy, differential assisted nuts, like all of this old ST, all the infrastructure that we have built for Subaru over these years, we could still use. But that could be something new we could all tinker with and they could brag about, and the car's sliding around in the freaking dirt again and we're all having a great time.
Yeah. So JK in the chat, JKVB Club Spec in the chat says Porsche has a hybrid electric turbo system and it's a performance hybrid. Sounds like that's your dream car rather than a Subaru hybrid. So when you drive a shitty car, people judge you. When you drive a Porsche, people judge you. When you drive a regular car, people forget what you're driving. Subaru sells the weirdest regular car. It's part of why I like it. So I'd rather
that's
have
one way to look at it. You ain't wrong, but
yeah. So
they
I
sell
don't
the
want a Porsche
strangest
because
Camry.
it's the strangest Camry. Yeah.
You don't drive the Camry of it though. Okay? You drive a sports car. You drive the modern S2000. I mean, I don't know how else to put it. Like honestly, actually what you drive, you have the only version of, but it was in the 90s something like a 240 SX.
That's right. Miles at RCE told us that too.
Yeah.
It's a modern 240 SX.
Which is like there's nothing wrong with that. Like that's
you know what's crazy? We've been talking about this. I want to go drive my car. Like
good.
That
that is what this podcast should be doing, is getting you hyped about going to drive your fucking car.
Oh man. We've been at this for an hour and a half, so like, we could keep going, but I want better performance for sure. Like that's why you buy a Subaru. You just a weird high performance vehicle.
But I'm gonna keep saying, like, you want the feeling of performance, okay? Let's be real. We're never I don't think we want it, but B, like, if you're buying this car based off of numbers, you have missed the point at this point.
Yes.
Okay, you should have bought a Mustang, or you should have went and got a C6 Z06 or whatever. There's a million different other things out there that you should have. If you're buying this, you are a Subaru enthusiast and you want this type of thing. Okay, if you're buying this due to numbers, you're missing the point. Okay. So you say you want better performance. You want the illusion of performance. Okay. You want the feeling of performance. You want
feeling is more important than numbers.
Yes. So like, I cannot stress that enough to people. Do not get hung up on it. This thing's probably only going to, claim 350 horsepower, and that's going to be okay.
Yeah. Questions in the chat. So how deep does the Toyota Subaru alliance go? I haul for something, and I keep seeing Toyota badges on Subaru products. Yeah, so the BRZ is BRZ and GR86 are 100% made in Subaru's factories. On the back of the Toyota badge is a Subaru logo because they physically manufactured that part for them.
So crazy.
The Toyota has like a 20% stake in Subaru.
Yeah.
Something like that.
They bought GM's old stake plus a little bit.
There are new laws going into effect that require competitors in Japan to divest from like having shares in their competitors. That happened with some insurance companies recently. So I do wonder if that'll apply to non-insurance companies. So what that means is I don't this is not a finance podcast, but like there's a chance that Toyota could be forced to end their investment. I could be completely wrong though. Besides that, I think the EV tech for Subaru comes from Toyota. So that BZ4X is the same as the Subaru Solterra. That's 100% a Toyota vehicle because Subaru is simply too small to invest the billions of dollars they need to build a bespoke platform. Um, didn't Subaru recently buy back a percentage of the holdings from Toyota? I don't know, but maybe. I have to look it up. So, besides that, I don't think there is a real relationship. But I do believe Dewey when he says the STI was canceled to make room for the GR Corolla.
I think the relationship runs a little deeper than we think. I know one of the biggest reasons that Toyota wanted a piece of Subaru was SOA actually played a part in that. And I think some of the reason that the sizing of some of Subaru's current vehicles is very similar to the sizing of some of Toyota's current vehicles.
Mm,
But in the end, I really hope we could see. I'd prefer to see this as a in-house rivalry. Even though
yeah.
they're at least a neighborly rivalry. So maybe we'll get lucky.
Next question in the chat. Hey Dewey, looking at the oiling system components for a 450 horsepower stock location turbo EJ. I plan to use an IAG Stage 1 oil pump. I don't think I've ever heard you talk about the competition baffle for the stock oil pan. For a street car, should I go for the whole oil pan kit or just keep the stock pan with the pickup and put a competition baffle in with the flaps?
Well, let's talk about this real quick. If at any point you were ever planning on going to the track, I'm just going to be real, the competition baffle is a very old product of ours. If you're ever planning on going to the track, if your car has AVCS, okay, let me make sure I say that first. If your car has AVCS at all and you have any plans of going to the track, get the stage 2 pump and get the competition pan, the full pan kit. Okay. I recommend if you got the money, get the pan kit no matter what. Just having the extra oil capacity is nice. Especially these cars are going to burn a little bit of oil, but you're going to have significantly better baffling, a little bit of passive cooling, whatever. But the pan kit's just a whole lot nicer. Again, going back to the competition baffle for the stock pan. That was a really cool piece that we've had for years, and it works with in some situations. Maybe you got to stick with a stock pan or whatever. Maybe you're only doing autocross or something. That stock pan will probably be fine. But if you have any plans or you have a little bit of budget extra, we kept it because people were still buying it, but I think the pan is a significantly better option. Just get the pan. Honestly, I'd rather even see you on a street series pan than the competition baffle. If you were going to occasionally do a track day, but if you're going to do track use at all, get the competition pan. Just go straight to it.
Smart. Next question. Dewey, little off script. Are you prepared for a bunch of Mainers showing up for Summer Apex at Watkins Glen?
I'm hyped. So Dylan and the boys, supposedly, rumor is there may or may not be like a bachelor party coming to
oh, right.
Yeah. They were talking about doing it at Lime Rock, but then Watkins happened and it actually works out better for them. So dude, those are some of the best good old boys you've ever hung out with, and I am mega hyped to hang with you guys that weekend. It's going to be great. So yeah, I'm stoked. So.
Nice. I'm scrolling back from the chat and I don't see any more questions. So if they are, please let me know. Probably just re-ask your question at the bottom of the chat because I lost them. So let's see.
Either way, I'm really hyped about this Bugeye. I'm excited about you to drive this Bugeye.
Yeah, man.
I want you to understand the Bugeye.
So I drove the car that was on the TV show, which was the
The raccoon.
The rusty raccoon.
Yes.
Yeah.
You've never really checked out normal Bug Eye. I don't believe.
No.
Yeah. So one thing that
Every
you're
Bug Eye
gonna
has a story.
immediately you're gonna be like, these seats are so good. Why
Yeah.
are these seats so for somebody who's as tall as you and I? It's literally the best seat that Subaru's ever put in they're the best road trip seat Subaru's ever put in a car. So good.
Wow. High praise.
Yeah. I'm hyped. So I'm excited for you to go take a spin and kind of just how you sit in a Bug Eye is just lovely, especially if you're tall. Everything's where it's supposed to be. The car's just the right size. It just seems happy. So it's dude, you're gonna have a great time. You're gonna have a great time.
Good.
Bug Eyes. It's just great.
Can we get a refresh reminder for Joe's GoFundMe, please? Yeah. So if you like people like this, complaining at nauseum about Subarus, sounds like Joe was that guy, but 15 years ago. So, and he probably was important to a lot of people.
And he's still very active in the community right up until recently. So,
wow,
yep.
Man, that's rough. That's fighting the good fight.
So, yeah, can't stress it enough. If you guys can, we'll have the link in the podcast description, and definitely go donate to Joe's GoFundMe to help. He unfortunately passed recently, and it'd really help his family out. Let's the community should be able to carry this, no problem. So let's try to help old boy out. So, all right. I think it's been real. I think it's been fun. I think it's been real fun. And we'll argue with you guys next time. I think next week we're going to do the awards show. So
sounds good. I have to be there.
Yep, it'll be a good time. We'll argue the whole time.
Cool.
All right.
Hey, Merry Christmas, everybody.
Yep, you too.
Merry Chrysler.